what if your digital life wasn't just something on a screen, but actually like deep inside you?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like pure science fiction, doesn't it? High concept stuff.
Exactly. But today, we're doing a deep dive into biointegrated technology.
Mm-hmm.
It's this whole field that's really blurring the lines,
Yeah.
between human and machine.
Mm-hmm.
And the key thing is it's not some like far off future. It's kind of unfolding right now, moving from sci-fi books and movies into, well, actual reality. So our mission for this deep dive, basically, is to unpack a whole load of sources we've gathered. We've got cutting-edge articles, research papers, some really insightful analyses.
Get stacked.
Yeah, a good stack, all exploring how tech is literally becoming part of us.
Yeah.
We're going to pull out the most important bits, the key knowledge and insights, just so you're really equipped to understand what's going on. Because it's a huge shift for humanity's future. And think of it less like escaping reality, Neo plugging into the Matrix. It's more about enhancing it. Maybe something more like her. Potentially intimate, personal, maybe even beautiful.
That's a great way to put it.
We just want to give you that shortcut so you're properly informed on this.
It's a really fascinating topic, and I get it. A lot of people probably still hear this and think, oh, okay, that's fantasy. Strictly speculative stuff.
Sure.
But what really jumps out from the sources we looked at is just how far reality has actually come. It's pretty staggering. So we're going to walk you through not just what's happening, like at the very edge of this tech, but maybe more importantly, why it matters, why these steps forward are so critical for, how we understand ourselves, our potential, even the definition of being human in this new era.
Connecting the dots.
Exactly. Connecting the dots between the vision and the actual concrete stuff happening now.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because this dawn of digital embodiment, I mean, it's not just coming, it's kind of here, right?
Demonstrably, yeah.
We've all seen films like The Matrix or Ghost in the Shell characters plugging straight into digital worlds, experiencing it like it's their own thoughts. And our sources are pretty clear. This isn't just Hollywood anymore. The actual groundwork, the foundations for that kind of integration, they're being laid right now. Think about brain-computer interfaces, BCIs. The idea isn't brand new, obviously, but the progress is just, wow.
It's accelerated massively.
Right. Like Elon Musk's Neuralink. It just got FDA approval for human trials this year. Now, okay, the stated aim is helping paralyzed patients control devices just by thinking.
Which is amazing in itself.
Totally amazing. It sounds like that tech in Avatar, where the mind pilots a different body, almost cinematic.
Right.
But the sources really dig into the engineering behind it. Neuralink, for example, they're talking about implanting thousands of these microscopic flexible threads right into the brain.
Tiny.
And they're designed to pick up neural signals, the spikes, with incredible precision, basically translating thought into action. It's about building this high bandwidth, stable link.
And what's truly fascinating there, and this really comes through in the research, is just the sheer speed, how quickly these ideas, which honestly felt like pure fantasy not long ago, are turning into real medical tech.
Yeah.
The precision needed for these BCIs, it's immense. You need stable, long-term communication with brain tissue without, causing damage or rejection.
Tricky stuff.
Very tricky. So these developments, they aren't just cool gadgets. They really represent a fundamental shift in how we interact with everything, ourselves included. It's not just how we might connect, but the why is already becoming clear. They're having a huge life-changing impact already, solving problems that seemed, impossible just a few decades back.
And it's not only about those maybe more futuristic paralysis treatments. We're already seeing really sophisticated, thought-controlled prosthetic limbs.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Giving amputees incredible control,
right.
Even sensory feedback. And cochlear implants, they've been around for ages, relatively speaking.
I get it, yeah.
But they restore hearing by directly stimulating the auditory nerve. Literally giving back a sense, these are here now.
Yeah.
Changing lives. Early examples, sure, but powerful ones. Of biointegration.
Exactly. And when you talk about enhanced senses, think about Daredevil's kind of perception or the enhanced vision in Minority Report.
Right.
Those movie ideas, they have direct parallels in today's cochlear implants and visual prosthetics. They're restoring lost senses for actual people. But the way they work involves direct neural interfaces. One source detailed how visual prosthetics, for instance, take camera input and turn it into electrical signals that stimulate the visual cortex directly, bypassing the damaged eyes.
Wow.
It's rudimentary still, but it's a direct pathway. And looking even further, though it's very early days, there's work on basic brain-to-brain communication tech. Yeah, using similar BCI ideas to allow, like, direct transfer of neural information, it immediately makes you think of X-Men telepathy, right?
Totally. Or that drift thing in Pacific Rim.
Or the drift,
Yeah,
where
totally.
minds link up. The sci-fi connections are obvious, but the reality involves really complex signal decoding and sending. It's non-trivial.
Okay, so here's where, for me, it gets really interesting. We've talked about interfaces connecting things to us, but the sources point to something even deeper, actual biointegration.
Intrinsic integration.
Yeah, moving beyond external devices to tech becoming like fundamentally part of us. What do the materials say about that next step? How does tech become part of us in ways that make, I don't know, Iron Man's suit look clunky?
Or Tom Cruise waving his hands around in Minority Report seem old-fashioned.
Exactly.
Well, it seems to be about making the text smaller and embedding it deeper. Our sources highlight research into things like smart contact lenses.
Smart contact.
Yeah, not just for fixing vision, but for displaying, say, augmented reality overlays right onto your retina, or constantly monitoring health data, glucose levels, terafilm stuff in real time.
Right there in your eye.
Right there. And we're also seeing progress in ingestible sensors, little pills you swallow that track digestive health or check if you took your meds, all from the inside. It's about this ubiquitous invisible integration. Imagine wearables shrinking down so small they're microscopic implants.
Microscopic.
Maybe injected, maybe even designed to, like, grow with our own biology. And they could enhance our senses, boost hearing, see different light spectrums, or maybe even subtly improve cognitive function by optimizing neural pathways.
Okay, that leads straight to this concept of the Internet of Bodies. That sounds intense.
It is a big concept.
So picture this. Not just smartwatches, but these tiny implants, ingestible sensors, smart contacts, all wirelessly sending real-time biological data, glucose, heart rhythms, maybe even basic brain activity, into some huge network. What are the sources saying about, say, the potential uses, predictive health maybe? And what about the risks? That seems like an incredibly intimate data stream.
It really is. The sources describe this Internet of Bodies, or IOB, as this future idea where our biology is just directly plugged into the digital world, creating this constant feedback loop of very personal data.
Feedback loop.
Exactly. And the potential for predictive health, huge. Imagine systems flagging early signs of cancer or Alzheimer's years before symptoms show up, just by analyzing your biodata constantly.
That could revolutionize medicine.
Absolutely. Truly personalized preventative medicine. It could optimize athletic training, tailor education, maybe even help regulate emotions.
But the risks.
But the risks, as some of the more critical sources definitely point out, are massive. Data security and privacy on a scale we've never seen. If your heartbeat, your stress levels, maybe even rough brain signals are always streaming somewhere, that's an incredibly vulnerable target for hackers or just, intrusive data gathering.
Yeah, that's unsettling.
Yeah.
And it's not just a far-off vision, is it? We talked about fictional cyborgs like RoboCop or the $6 Million Man.
Classics.
But real people are already living as, well, cyborgs in a pretty profound way.
Yeah.
Our sources have some amazing, really compelling stories.
They really do.
Like Neil Harbison. He was born completely colorblind. Now he has an antenna implanted right into his skull.
An antenna?
Yeah. And it translates colors into sounds, so he can literally hear colors. It's a genuine enhancement of his senses, giving him this perception most of us can't even grasp. Like something straight out of Blade Runner 2049, that kind of enhanced perception.
Incredible.
Then there's Tilly Lockheed. She lost both hands of meningitis as a baby. Now she has these advanced bionic arms.
The hero arms, right.
Yeah, giving her amazing dexterity, even haptic feedback. They're not just cosmetic, they're deeply integrated. She can do complex things with real precision. It reminds you of the prosthetics in Alita, Battle Angel.
It really does.
And Jens Newman. Blinded in 2 separate accidents. He was one of the first to get a visual prosthetic system. It doesn't restore normal sight, obviously, but it lets him perceive shapes, light. A bit like Geordi LaForge's visor in Star Trek.
Functional vision, essentially.
Exactly. These aren't characters in a story, they're real people right now, pushing the limits of human experience, showing what biointegration can already do.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, these stories, they aren't just cool anecdotes, right?
Right.
They really represent the leading edge of human augmentation. And they really force us to think about what human even means now. They obviously highlight the immediate life-changing benefits of this tech for quality of life, new ways to interact, perceive the world.
Yeah.
But, and this is critical as our sources dig into, they also foreshadow these bigger societal shifts that are already starting. They challenge how we define senses, abilities, even our own identity. It really makes you question the boundaries of the human body and experience itself.
So, okay, what does this all mean for us as a society as this tech gets more common? The sources dive into what they call an ethical minefield. That sounds about right.
It does feel like that.
Yeah, first big one. Privacy. When your own body is the data source, and that data is always flowing, ownership gets really weird, doesn't it?
Extremely complicated.
Who owns your brain activity,
Right.
your heart rate, your stress levels, maybe even basic thoughts if an interface can pick them up?
And this is where several sources bring up this really important idea of neural rights.
Neural rights.
Yeah. They argue our current privacy laws are just not built for this level of intimacy. We need new legal frameworks, new ethical guidelines to protect things like cognitive liberty, the freedom of thought, mental privacy, even the psychological continuity of yourself.
Wow.
Because if thoughts can be read, maybe even influenced by an interface, are they really private anymore? It makes you think of 1984's telescreens.
Sure does.
But the sources suggest it could be much more subtle. Could brain interfaces become like hidden surveillance tools? Or even like the Precogs and Minority Report, predict or nudge our behavior based on real-time brain data.
That's a chilling thought.
It's not just about data anymore, it's about protecting our inner world, the core of who we are.
Okay, then there's the augmentation divide. This feels like a big one too. The very real worry about creating a new class system, enhanced versus unenhanced humans.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately think of Gattaca, right? That sharp split between the natural born and the genetically engineered valids. It's a powerful warning.
It really is.
If getting cognitive boosts or better physical abilities or longer lives depends on how much money you have,
Yeah.
couldn't that just make existing inequalities way, way worse, creating this massive gap between the augmented and the natural?
That's exactly the concern. Our sources lay out different scenarios from subtle advantages in school or jobs to huge differences in health outcomes, creating a completely new kind of social hierarchy. It's not just theoretical. It's about making sure there's fair access and avoiding a future where basic human rights get tied to tech upgrades.
Which leads straight to that ultimate philosophical question, doesn't it?
The big one.
What makes us human? The classic ghost in the shell question. If we replace enough bits or integrate tech so deeply,
Yeah.
are we still, like, fundamentally human? Or something else entirely?
It echoes that really poignant thing with the replicants in Blade Runner, you know? Their manufactured memories, their emotions. It blurred the line between artificial and real. It forces you to try and redefine consciousness itself.
So this brings up an important point about the more sort of grounded practical challenges. It's not all philosophy. There are real-world hurdles the sources flag that we need to deal with now.
Absolutely. Very practical issues. I mean, if The Matrix taught us anything, it's that connecting your brain to a network has serious risks.
Yeah, understatement.
Our sources talk a lot about mind hacking, and this isn't just protecting your bank account info, it's cybersecurity for your actual mind, protecting thoughts, memories, your identity from being messed with or stolen.
Mind hacking. That's terrifying.
Imagine scenarios like the memory implants from Total Recall actually becoming possible, or malicious code designed to make you feel certain emotions. The potential impact on personal freedom is, well, profound. Then there's something like upgrade anxiety. How do these super intimate devices evolve? Do they get obsolete like phones?
Oh, God. Imagine needing, like,
Ugh.
invasive brain surgery just for an update.
Exactly. That's a much bigger deal than a software patch in the Matrix. The long-term compatibility, the upgradability of implants, huge engineering problems.
Finally.
Finally, we're looking at a whole new field of medicine, biotech medicine, basically fixing and maintaining these integrated systems inside people.
Body mechanics for humans.
Kind of. We'll need new kinds of specialists, like the techs fixing the androids in Westworld, just to keep our integrated selves running properly, navigating that complex dance between biology and tech. And these aren't just, what-if worries for the future. They are real dilemmas we need to tackle now as the tech develops. We need to shape the rules, the research, the social norms proactively,
Yeah.
not just react when problems pop up after it's too late.
Wow. Okay, what a journey today. From, like, the wildest sci-fi ideas to the actual evolving reality of biointegrated tech.
It covers a lot of ground.
It really does. We've seen the incredible good it can do, restoring senses, boosting abilities, but also these huge ethical questions and practical hurdles. I think this deep dive really showed that, unlike maybe the dystopian futures we see in The Terminator or The Matrix, where tech often turns bad.
Right.
Our bio-integrated future doesn't have to be a nightmare. It really could be more like the hopeful vision in Her, where tech makes human connection richer.
Or Star Trek.
Or the expansive future of Star Trek, yeah, where tech lifts humanity up.
Absolutely. And the potential upsides, as the sources keep showing, are just immense. Curing diseases we can't touch now, maybe extending lifespan significantly, expanding what humans are capable of in ways we can barely even imagine today.
Mhm.
Ultimately, I think this deep dive shows us the integrated future isn't just about the technology, it's fundamentally about humanity.
Mm-hmm.
As we stand right here at this incredible point where tech is becoming part of our actual being, how is that going to change how we understand consciousness, ourselves? And crucially, how do we make sure it's accessible, it's equitable? How do we protect what it means to be human as we, all of us, start writing this totally new chapter in our story?
Yeah.
It's definitely something for all of us to think about as this continues to unfold.